Is Japan entering the humanoid robot race? Tokyo-based robotics startup Highlanders just unveiled its Kepler v1.0 AI model that's powering its new humanoid called N. So today on AI News, we're taking a closer look at this, plus a mecha robot that's turning science fiction into reality. But first, Highlanders reasons that a single AI model struggles to plan and react in real time all at once, adopting a dual brain approach instead. Kepler accomplishes this by running on what Highlanders calls a think slow, react fast architecture, a deliberative cerebrum handling vision-language reasoning and long horizon planning at an unexpected 5 Hz, paired with a reflexive cerebellum managing balance and force control at roughly 500 Hz. Plans flow down, sensor state flows back up continuously. Then, at the model's core sits a 10 billion parameter world model trained on vision, force torque, and tactile data, built specifically to predict contact dynamics before motion happens, rather than reacting after the fact. Plus, training blends simulation, teleoperation, and rollouts from real robots already working in the field. This is because Highlanders robots are already collecting sensor and video data on real production floors in Japan, feeding this loop that the company expects to generate roughly 26 million hours of targeted real-world data in 2027 alone. And on top of this, more robots deployed means more data, which trains a better model, which justifies deploying more robots. And running this loop requires Highlanders' Hisui infrastructure. This is their in-house cluster with an expected 640 NVIDIA B300 GPUs across 80 nodes, backed up by roughly 24 petabytes of fleet sensor and video storage. But none of this matters without somewhere for the robots to actually work, which is why Highlanders just made it real by signing a memorandum of understanding with Mitsubishi Motors to jointly develop and mass-produce the N robot, targeting 1,000 units a month by the second half of 2027 using idle space at Mitsubishi's Kyoto engine plant. But they're facing competition from nearby Korea, as Hyundai and Boston Dynamics are also attempting to address this human labor shortage head-on with the production of its newest Atlas robot. In fact, Boston Dynamics just showed how far along Atlas is, as the company just released new footage of 3 Atlas units performing a perfectly synchronized Viking row, mimicking the rowing celebration Norwegian fans made famous during the 2026 World Cup. Employees can be seen participating in the back pulling in unison, but tell us in the comments whether you'd prefer Atlas or N, or else this 4.5 meter tall monstrosity called the Archax 01, which is a piloted mechatronic humanoid. So, a human climbs into the cockpit, built into the robot's torso, and drives this 3.5-ton machine using joysticks, pedals, and a 9-camera view feeding 4 screens. And it has 626 joints, 2 arms with 5-fingered hands, and switches between an upright robot mode to a wheeled vehicle mode that can hit about 10 kilometers per hour or just over 6 miles per hour. In fact, the company Tsubame designed the Archax 01 for jobs too dangerous for people, with the CEO saying they wanted to build something unmistakably Japanese, part mecha, part machine. But when it comes to pricing, while it started as a $3 million purchase, the company later added leasing to bring the cost down in 2024. So tell us in the comments below which humanoid form factor you'd prefer and at what price point. And while these robots are learning how to act in the physical world, AI is learning how to act in the digital world too, as Anthropic just gave Claude a browser to work with directly. Anthropic's newly added built-in sandbox browser and Claude Code desktop app lets Claude open web pages, read them, click through, and fill out forms, including documentation, issue trackers, design files, and any other site, all without leaving the coding environment. On top of this, it runs on a clean profile with no saved logins, and any write action like clicking or typing gets reviewed by safety classifiers first, even in automated mode. Claude also won't make purchases, create accounts, or solve CAPTCHAs without explicit approval. That makes it a different tool than the existing Claude for Chrome extension, which acts inside a user's own logged-in browser sessions. This new browser is sandboxed and isolated instead, built for testing and research, not for acting as the user. Organizations can even restrict it to an allow list of sites or turn it off entirely. But Anthropic isn't the only company shipping new AI tools for developers, because Meta also just changed how it sells its models entirely by introducing Muse Spark 1.1, the second model from Meta Superintelligence Labs division and a major upgrade over the original Muse Spark released in April. Alongside it, Meta opened a public preview of the Meta Model API, the company's first real developer API for a frontier model. In fact, Muse Spark 1.1 is a multimodal reasoning model tuned specifically for agentic work, planning, tool use, and computer use alongside stronger coding support, including bug fixing, large codebase edits, sub-agent delegation, and multi-step debugging loops. It also handles images, video, and documents natively in a single call, including turning visual mockups directly into code. Meta AI calls it the lab's strongest model yet for agentic and coding tasks. And Meta is positioning their API aggressively, with reports putting its pricing at roughly a quarter of what OpenAI and Anthropic charge for GPT 5.6 and Fable 5, a direct play for developers currently building on either company's API. And it's a notable pivot in strategy. Rather than compete purely on open weight availability like Llama did, Meta is now chasing the same paid API business both rivals already run. This is different because until now, developers wanting Meta's most capable models had two options: either download OpenLlama weights and host them yourself, or else get invited into a private preview for the original Muse Spark. But the new API changes that by being self-serve, OpenAI SDK compatible, and including $20 in free credits for new accounts. Furthermore, Meta says the model went through its advanced AI scaling framework before release, with the unmitigated model reportedly crossing a high-risk threshold in chemical, biological, and cybersecurity domains. But after adding safeguards, Meta assessed residual risk as moderate or lower, with lower jailbreak and prompt injection success rates than the original Muse Spark. What's worth flagging, though, is that several independent write-ups note Meta hasn't published a detailed model card for Muse Spark 1.1, leaving some technical specifics undocumented for now, which is a contrast to the benchmark-heavy release post typical of OpenAI and Anthropic. The launch also lands just 2 days after Meta shipped Muse Image, suggesting a broader, faster release cadence from the Superintelligence Labs team, with Muse Spark 1.1 being expected to eventually power Meta AI across WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and the company's smart glasses. Anyways, like and subscribe, check out this video here for more of the latest in AI and robotics news, and thanks for watching.